everyone. Yeah, this is my little girl Patricia. So yeah, come here back sweetheart so people can see. So welcome to the Beauty Crafter with Shelley Lewis, and welcome to Flosstube number 29. For some reason I had it written down in my book for 25, so I don't know where the other three have been. So I thought I would do my last Flosstube for the end of this year, because obviously the rest of the week and the weekend's going to be really busy, and obviously it's Christmas Tuesday. So I hope you're all having a brilliant week and you're all ready for Christmas and you're all having a brilliant stitchy time. Yeah. You say hi to everyone.
Hi.
Yeah, she's my sweetheart. So I've written down how I'm actually going to go through this. So, can I just pop you right on the side, sweetheart? Just there.
Yeah.
You sit next to Mummy there. Good
Yeah.
girl. Right. The first thing I want to do is just some general shout outs. Now, I've written them down here because I wanted to give these people a shout out, and I'm very forgetful with names. And I forgot my Christmas hairband this time. So some of my shout outs are not basic shout outs, these are my shout outs I want to give. So I've gotten who I've been watching and who I've recently subscribed to as well is Basic Stitches. We've got Stitch the Stash with Deborah B. The Sunshine Stitchers, and they're absolutely fab. I remember the first Flosstube video I watched of theirs a few weeks ago. They were really cheerful and jolly, and you know how they say like cheerfulness radiates through, if that's the word to say. Well, theirs did, and they were just really, really cheerful people. And the last one is the Inner Stitcher. I've been watching her videos for a couple of weeks. I've caught up on all her videos, and she's very, very good as well. She's absolutely a brilliant stitcher, absolutely fantastic. Some of the designs she's been working on, the hay, especially, all of it's perfect, but the hays are just phenomenal.
I got down.
You getting down?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Whips. Now, I have been stitching. I've done a fair bit of stitching, but I've just been focused on one thing, because you know when you stitch something and you're enjoying it that much, you just want to get it done. It's not a case of get it done because you've had enough of it. It's a case of you want to get it stitched because you've just really, really been enjoying it and you just want to carry on stitching it. Well, if you follow me on Instagram or my normal Facebook, which is, I think it's Shelley Lewis on Instagram. Whips, I know. This is Randy, by the way. Ow! You little... Okay. No, Randy and my daughter are having a teddy bear fight. Uh-oh. You okay, sweetheart? Yeah. Do you want to come and sit on Mummy's lap? My daughter's decided to have one of the meltdowns. Tisha. Sorry, she'll be fine when she has a cuddle. Hey, Daddy's just giving her a cuddle now. So the first one is, by the way, do you like my frame guard? I had this recently because I just wanted something Christmassy. So I ordered that one. I'm going to take it out the frame because I just feel like you won't be able to see it properly with it being in the frame at the minute. If you remember, I showed you last time, it was just like a little square. There wasn't much stitch to it. I had this from eBay, and oh my life, I've not done it, but I've done a fair bit of it. This is my Elvis design. Look at that. It looks good in real life, but it looks brilliant there as well. Now this, I had a bit how you do with this, because when I decided to pick it out of my collection, my stash, the threads, it didn't have, all it had was a different, written down was a different shade of threads, but there were like 4 different shades of brown and tans, and there was more skeins than there should have been, and there was also a white in there which shouldn't have been in there. So I basically had to go through the whole lot and match it up with the DMC shades as much as I could, because I was running low of the DMC colours as well. So I literally had to just match them all up, go to the shop. But the lovely woman in the shop, as I've probably explained before, helped me to match them up. And we have been matching them up, and that is how far I've got an Elvis. I've done a little bit more at the bottom there. And as you can see, my little girl's coming in the picture there. So that is as far as I've got an Elvis at the minute. So I shall just pop that there. Oh, I think she's showing you a Thomas. Are you showing everybody your Thomas? Yeah. Is that your Thomas?
Yeah, that's my Thomas.
Come to side a bit, darling. Good girl. Good girl.
I get Mummy out.
Right, the other whips. No, these will come into finishes for next year, and I will actually go into that in a minute. Right, new starts. I've made a new start this year, not much, but I have, but I want to make another new start, and the reason why I want to make these new starts is because it comes into next year. Percy, you want Percy? She loves Thomas and Percy. And in January, I've joined I'm with a group. I can't remember who's running it now. She's doing a thing for next year where it's called a race to finish, and it's basically you race for the whole year to finish a load of whips that you want to get done. But it doesn't count if you start the new starts next year. It only counts the whips that you've already got this side of the year. And because there's something that I want to do for next year, for October, I'm going to start that this year, and then I'll be able to include that in the whips, and I'll show you that in the haul. But the other finishes that I want to get in are, we have, now you've seen this one a couple of times, it's this that I'm doing, which is a baby chart. Now I had this gave to me at a knitting group that I went to. I'm not going now because obviously I'm actually at college now. As you've seen in my other video, I didn't get very far with it. I've only done that much, which is the top of the chart and a little bit down the side. That is one of the things I want to get finished, is that. I might do that for my best friend. She's had a baby, and by the time I'll probably get that finished, the little one will start to be walking, so if not crawling. So that's one of the things I want to get done. The other thing that I want to get done, I didn't even show you my new start, did I? Yeah, because we're on whips at the minute, it doesn't matter. The other thing that I want to get done is, now this is not a cross stitch, but because I love different crafts, I want to get this done for as soon as possible, really. So, hang on a minute, I've lost my loop. It's this here that I'm making, and I'm doing that for my I've covered her face. I'm doing that, yeah, that's yours. I'm doing that for my daughter's room. Is a crocheted blanket. That is, I definitely want to get that done. Might actually try and get that done just before Christmas, because it shouldn't take that long to do.
Socks.
Socks? not socks, it's blanket.
The blanket. And
Yeah.
that
So I'll just
socks.
put that back in
And
there.
that socks.
Because I've got
There's that.
kits and charts and that everywhere, which is what I'm doing. So I'll just pop that bag over there. I'll just chuck that there a minute. I usually feel more organised when I do these videos, but I felt like I just wanted to do it now. So the other whip that I've got, have I got it in this bag? I've got it in this one here. See what I mean? I've got them everywhere. Right, the other whip that I want to do. Now, you've seen this one before.
Top. That is top. Top.
Yeah.
Ah.
You've seen this one before. I haven't done any more on it.
Top.
But just because I'm doing the end of the year Flosstube video, I thought I'd do a recap of the whips that I'm working on. Is this abstract one. This is one of the things that I actually want to get finished as well in the new year. Is that. I'm carrying on this for somebody that was started doing it on Facebook, and I bought it a while ago just to finish off. I'm going to hang that in the wall somewhere in the front room. That is one of the whips that I'm actually going to finish off as well. I think altogether I've got about, if you include the new stocks that I'm going to do, I'll have about 5 whips to try and get done. So it's not too bad. The one though, I think I may struggle to get that done, and that one is the Pinocchio that I'm doing. I have not worked at all on that because I thought I was short of a thread, but it turns out I wasn't short of a thread. Now, before I was keeping the threads to the Pinocchio in bags, and I felt like half the time I was just spending most of my time just looking for the threads instead of actual stitching. So I got one of these boxes, and what I've done is I've bobbinated all the threads that I'm using for Pinocchio, and I've put them in a box there. Now the Pinocchio design is going with me on one of the stitching, well, it'll probably go with me on all the stitching retreats that I've got, so I can actually get it done. And just for a recap, I'll show you how far I got on Pinocchio for those ones who haven't seen. Oh, what's that?
Wow.
Right, hold on. That is how far I got on Pinocchio at the minute. Like I said, I did stop because I thought I was short of a colour, but I wasn't. So I can actually carry on with that. That what are you doing? That is how far I got with Pinocchio. So I want to, if I can't finish that, it would be great to finish it in the new year. It is. It would be great to finish it in the new year. I would love to be able to actually get that done. But realistic terms, because I'm working on Elvis and the other things, I may not get it finished. And oh my god, my craft bag needs sorting out. It's a hot mess. My craft bag is. But I'll have to sort that out before I go on my stitching retreat. So that is my whips. Now, what is after whips? New starts. Now, I showed you my whips, what I want to get done in the new year. New starts. Now, I'm just going to have a bit of my cup of tea before it goes cold, and my husband tells me off again. Because he's always telling me off for leaving my for leaving my tea cold. Now, my new starts. Now this one, I watch Charlotte, the Woolly Hatted Stitcher, and she said she had also got, not the exact same one, but she had also got one, and she mentioned about stitching it at the retreat together, so that's what we probably will do. But because I want to Tish, can you come to the side, darling? Turn around. That's it. Good girl. My baby. Because I want to include this in my finishes next year, because I really, really want to stitch it. I'll quickly show you the picture. Now that is the picture that I'm stitching. It's Mickey Mouse with a cup of tea. You can see my thread there because I'm using that at the minute. I've got all of the threads for that. There. I think I'm missing probably about one thread for it. I'm using DMC threads for it as well. Before I go longer into that, Elvis Presley is using DMC threads. Actually, all my whips are using DMC. This is how far. You can sit on my lap in a minute, darling. This is how far I've got on this. I haven't got far at all.
Fish.
This way, darling. That's how far I've got on that. The reason I haven't got that far is because I really want to do it in the new year, so, but I want it to be one of the finishes. So that is how far I've got. I'm going to do the black outline first. Do you like my needle minder? Nightmare Before Christmas. This is done. I'm actually stitching this on 18 count Ada. I thought I thought it was 16 count. I thought I'd ordered 16 count for some reason, but it turns out I'd actually ordered 18 count. So that is what I'm stitching it on, and I'm using anchor threads for that because that's what the colourful threads are. The only problem is with the anchor threads, because I think they are actually going out of business. I could be wrong, but it's what my local stitching shop told me. So the black thread, I actually I substituted it for DMC because I couldn't find they didn't have the black anchor threads, and I don't have another shop near me that actually sells them, so I went with DMC for that. My other new start, what I want to do is I'll show you that with the haul, because it's basically a new thing that I've got, so that means we'll switch on to haul.
Yeah.
So I'll show you that first. So the one design that I want to get done in the new year, where I want to get finished because I want to get it finished for Halloween, is this one, and it's included in my haul. It's a newish one that I've got. Is Tisha. Come here. She's a little maddie, isn't she? Is this one, and it's Buffy Threads range, and it's fairy tale. Well, it's a Buffy Threads by that. No, it's not Mickey Mouse, darling. It's Hansel and Gretel. It's Hansel and Gretel. So I got that, and I want to make a start on. Oh God, I'm going to have a landslide. I want to start that this side of Christmas, because at least then I can include that in the race to finishes for next year. But what I'll do is in January I shall do another Flosstube, basically to show you where I've got with my whips and what new starts I've made. So I'm going to make that a new start. Alright then, if you're going to get down, you stand at the side, darling, because people won't be able to see what I'm trying to show them.
Yeah. I want to play.
You want to go and play?
Yeah.
Go on then. She's going to say bye-bye to everyone if you're going to play. Say bye-bye. No, okay. You can go and play then. No. Okay. So, and the other bit in my haul is this one. This is another by Buffy Threads. It's of a fairy tales range, and that is Cinderella. And it includes just DMC threads and metallic threads as well. I'm not a big fan of stitching with metallic threads, but because these designs, they don't use a whole lot of metallics, so I don't mind stitching with those little bit of metallic, so I got that. So that is actually 5 or 6 Buffy Threads Fairy Tales range that I have to stitch now. I love those. They are so easy to do for when you don't want to have to concentrate too much on a stitch that you've got. They're really easy to do, and obviously you can take them. They're travel wise, great travelling. Right, the other bit that I've got, now somebody sent me this, a kind lady. This is actually sprinkled stitchy kindness, because on Instagram there was what was it now? It was grant a wish for the stitching things. And what you have to do is repost the post, put in the comments, put in the comments what you want, what you'd love, and obviously if somebody could, they'd grant the wish, and then you would grant somebody else's wish. I still need to grant somebody's wish, but everything that people have asked for, I haven't got. But I really, really wanted the chart Virtue by Long Dog Samplers, and guess what? Somebody sent it me through PDF, so I actually printed it off myself. I'm not selling it or anything. I printed it off for myself because I don't use a tablet to stitch, so it'd be hard for me to be able to stitch it. So it's the only way I could do it. So I got that. Yay! Virtue by Long Dog Samplers. So I was really happy about that. And the last thing that I wanted to show you is I had my first ever memorabilia chart. You're not supposed, oh sugar, that was the thing. I got the chart because I was going to stitch it for my husband. He sat in the room, he'll know about it now. Now, yes, I'm not going to do this as a try and get it finished for next year because I haven't got the threads for it yet. I've still got to get that, but I am having some Christmas money, so I hope at the retreat that I may be able to get the threads. And I got this. It's called The Raven Queen by Mirabilia. He's running off. Look how gorgeous that is. Yeah, and I was going to stitch that. I'm going to do that for my husband because he has a fascination with ravens, and I just fell in love with that. It was a choice in between this that I got on eBay and what they did have, the Rose of Sharon kit by Mirabilia, or it was just this in the beads pack. I like the Rose of Sharon, but I was a bit unsure about the material that came with it because I'm not stitched on anything besides Ada before, and it wasn't expensive. It was really cheap actually for a Mirabilia kit, but I didn't quite have enough for that, so I went with this one because I thought it comes with the beads pack as well. There, so I've got the chart and the beads pack there, and all I need to get with it is the threads to go with it. Now the threads, it's Daddy singing. Now the threads, it doesn't actually require too many DMC flossies, but it does require Rainbow Gallery, Karen Water Lilies, and Krennic 4-braid and Krennic cable. I don't know where I'm going to get those from, but some people have actually recommended, what is it? They've recommended some places to get the special threads from, so I'll probably get the normal threads from I'll probably get the normal threads from the retreat. Hopefully I might be able to get some of the other speciality threads it requires from the retreat as well. So I got that.
You finished yet?
And yeah, it's coming in now. And the material I got, I love this. I think it is absolutely gorgeous. Now the material it said it requires was either 32 count touch of grey linen. I've never stitched on linen before, so, or alternative fabric 16 count touch of grey Ada. Now I thought I can go with the grey Ada, or I can go with a colour that I like. Oh, I picked a gorgeous one here. I brought this from Facebook actually. And this is, and it is the right size as well. It is 18 by 26, and this is 18 count Ada. It's pretty.
Yeah.
And
It's
this is called
That's a
After
top.
the Rain,
Top.
and it is by
This is
Colour
top.
Cascade Fabrics.
It's top.
Yeah. Look
Top.
at that. I don't think you'll be able to tell
Top.
the glitter, but it's like a purpley blue fabric, but it's also got glittery bits in it as well, and that is where I've picked to do the memorabilia on. So all I've got to do is get the threads for it, and I think it is going to be absolutely gorgeous on that fabric. I really, really do love that. And it wasn't that much either, that fabric. I think it was about £10. So I just need to get the threads for the memorabilia, where I plan to hopefully get the threads when I go on the stitching retreat. So that is my haul. Plans for the new year. Right.
Buy
I'm
less
losing my
stitching.
pen. Yeah, my husband said buy less stitching. Okay, I'll buy less stitching, but I need to get threads for that.
Buy less stitching,
So,
complete
no.
form.
Finish whips, race to finish. As I mentioned in the beginning of my video, I've joined something on Facebook on this group where it's called Race to Finish. It starts from January and it goes through the whole year, where basically you race to finish the whips that you have that you've started this year. Whips, well, starts that you actually start next year don't count. So that's the reason why I've made that new start and why I'm going to start the Hansel and Gretel this year, so I can get it finished for next year. So I'm going to get those done. My other plan for the new year is I just wanted to do something nice for Christmas, because I've been in more in the Christmas spirit this year, but I've also been thinking about people that don't have a lot for Christmas, and that even though it may be a good time for some of us, it's going to be a sad time for others. So, because I like crocheting blankets, I'm going to do a whole bunch of blankets, crochet them for the new year, but Christmas next year, when I've finished the blankets, I'm going to pass them on to the Salvation Army, or I'm going to pass them on to somebody that actually gives them to the homeless. So that's what I'm going to do. That's going to be my good deed for the year, and it's going to go on through the whole year as well, so I'm actually going to be working on that. I'd also like to do some fish and chip jumpers, and what we mean by fish and chip jumpers is obviously they're knitted, and they're called fish and chip jumpers because they're little tiny jumpers for babies in like no, it's not. It's for like African babies, and the reason why they call them fish and chip jumpers, if you're unsure what I mean, is because basically in some of the countries when the babies are born, because they don't have like the clothing and that, they're actually wrapped up in newspaper to keep the warmth in. That's all they've got for a blanket is a couple of papers. So that's why they call these fish and chip jumpers, because they're special little jumpers to keep the babies warm. So I want to do a few of those as well and see if there's anybody that accepts them to send them off, because they don't take long to do at all. They're really quick. You got your juice?
Yeah, I got that.
So that is my plan for the new year. Also a diet. I've said I'd do that this year, but I really need to do that in the new year because I've put on quite a bit. And my other thing for next year is enjoy the retreats, because I'm fully paid up now for the February one. I'm going on a retreat in Crewe in February, which I'm really, really looking forward to. And I'm going on the June retreat to Crewe again. And then October, it's the Milton Keynes one. And I've not been to that one before. I've only been to one retreat before, which was the Crewe, and I enjoyed it so much that I'm just really excited about going to the other ones. So, that is it for now. We're all done. All done for the Flosstube for the new year. Well, for the end of the year, that's what I mean. What I'll do is in the new year, in January, I shall do another Flosstube to let you know how I've got on and how Christmas was and that. So, if you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not a subscriber. If you are a subscriber, if you've just subscribed, thank you. If you are revisiting now, I just want to say thank you so much for coming back to my channel. I really do appreciate it. I do colouring videos as well if you're interested in that as well. And from me, my little Tigger, and Randy, I hope you have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Yeah.
And I'll leave you with this song. Ready? A one, a two, a 1, 2, 3. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Good tidings we bring to you and your King. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Oh, Randy! See ya, guys.